Hello, hello. We're live for our interview series, and I'm really excited to share about Monica because this is such a great example of you never know who you're going to meet and when. And so, um, I don't even think I told Monica the details behind this. We had taken our daughter to a subdivision around the corner, and it's a big subdivision on a golf course. And we were early, and Lucy's friend had said, "You can come by at whatever time," and then gave us a later time. So we kind of like were circling the sub, kind of wasting time. And we came upon this home that said estate sale. And my husband was like, "Hey, let's go walk around." And my first instinct, and I have to say this because I think this is something to be 100% awareness for the responsibility that Monica's taken upon herself to create what she's created. I said to my husband, "I'm just going to wait in the car. I don't know what's going on. If the person in the house died or they're really sick, and I just don't want to feel that energy." And he's like, "Really? Maybe they're just moving." And I was like, "Well, that's true. It could be true. They could be downsizing, right? It could have been something else." So essentially, we walk up and there's Monica at the table. Didn't know Monica. And everything, I looked around and all I first thought was, they're really organized. Like, this is a joy to me because sorting through some things can be hard. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, their jewelry's all in Ziploc bags. Like, everything is so organized." And then there was Monica standing behind the table. And like, her spirit was kind, it was warm. There was no, sadness, no like that heaviness of somebody who passed away or whatever the situation was. It was light and like a simple "Hi, how are you today?" Welcoming, which if you're old school like I am, I love customer service. I love it when somebody acknowledges me when I come in to shop somewhere. And she explained, some things, and then she was taking care of someone. And then we walked in the house, and I was like, "This has got to be the most organized estate sale I've ever seen." And I can't say we've been to hundreds, but we've stopped before, or you stopped at a garage sale or moving sale, whatever. And then I saw a woman in and realized, I was like, "Oh, they have like an apron on." Like, "Oh, this may not be the owners, or maybe the family's super organized. I'm not sure." Then I saw the pink card, which I regret to say is not at my desk at this moment. It said Lady Liquidators. And I was like, "Hot damn." That's what's different about this situation. It is organized. I'm not feeling the heaviness of the family. There's not a person crying behind selling some beautiful piece of artwork because of whatever the situation was. Monica created a space to serve the family in such a beautiful way, and I absolutely felt every piece of it. People were taking things left and right in a good way, like that she had help there. It was organized. The conversations were lighthearted. It wasn't heavy, like, somebody was dickering over something, and it wasn't ugly, it was so beautiful. So I had to reach out to Monica and hear more about her, what she's created, because this was so very unique. And I hope that this message reaches the right people that needs exactly what it is that she has, whether they're moving, whether they're in a situation where they need to downsize, somebody's going into a nursing home, or someone has passed away, or whatever other thing I'm missing that it could have been. I want you to know, Monica, the heart behind the person that was so organized and has a vision to serve people in such a way that can be such a gift to so many of us that don't have that skill set. So, Monica, will you share more about your story and how in the world you came to this?
Of course, and thank you. That gave me goosebumps because that means I'm doing what I'm meant to do, right?
100%.
Um, so Lady Liquidators was actually created 16 years ago. I was a paralegal, and me and my best friend worked in the same law office. And I was young at the time, and I had reached my ceiling. It was either go to law school and, move forward in the legal world, or this is where you're going to be. And it's just going to be the same routine for the next 30 years. Um, I wasn't okay with that. So I started kind of like getting feelers of what else is out there. I really, truly was considering law school. And at the time, my dad, I will just say, my dad was like, you really want to start school? Like, that's going to take you a long time. By the time you're going to really get into it, you're going to be in your 30s. I'm like, okay. So I decided to get my real estate license just to do it on the side, just to have something else other than the 9 to 5 in the legal world. And a friend of ours who was a probate attorney was like, have you girls ever considered, took us out to lunch one day and was like, have you girls ever been to an estate sale? And we're like, well, we love garage sailing. We go every weekend. Like we sometimes go before work. She's like, I want you to start looking, like start going to estate sales. And we're like, okay. So we did. And we realized that there was a need for professional, personable, organized people. It wasn't back then when we started was not as big as it is now. This was like the time that eBay maybe was just being introduced to the world. And estate sales were just most of the time either family run or family friend run. It wasn't really a known business. So we decided to do one. She had a client and we're like, okay, like we don't know what we're doing, but we will do it on the side, right? So we put it all together and it turned out very well. The client herself, the attorney that introduced us, she was like, "Oh my gosh, girls, you're onto something." So we started dabbing in it, and we started doing it like when we could. We worked in the same office, right? So we couldn't take Fridays off at the same time. So we were just kind of figuring out how are we going to do this. Um, our families thought we were crazy because they're like, you're leaving such a great job to do this. And we're like, well, we're just going to see how it goes. So eventually, it went to where our boss allowed us to go part-time, and he was very intrigued by what we were doing. So at some point he wanted to get into business with us. And I was like, oh, no, no, no. I've worked for you long enough. Like we're doing this on our own. So eventually I would say we did it part-time for maybe 2 to 3 years. I mean, it was a lot. Like we were working, we were working. And then we were able to go full time. So we left the legal world completely. Very scary. And having to supplement two, not just one person on their own, but two incomes, right? So we did it. We took the leap. We had to do some part-time like cleaning jobs and other things in between the flow as you're building a business. It doesn't all come just like that. So it was interesting. But we did it and we turned it into a full-time thing. And then with the real estate component of it, that helped too. So we could not only sell everything inside the house, but we could offer a one person, they only had to deal with us and we could sell the home and everything inside of it.
Oh my gosh, I didn't realize that was an option. That is fantastic.
Yeah. So, and then I mean, I will say it's been 16 years now, and I am still like, there are still things that I'm like, huh, okay, maybe I need to do it this way. Like, you're always growing and expanding and maybe trying something different, and maybe that doesn't work out. And so you go back to the old way, but we're, we're still just figuring it out.
Building the plane as you fly it.
I mean, I obviously know a lot more now, but it's still like there are days where I'm like, okay, I'm a little like, okay, I'm doing something different. And
Mm.
so that's intriguing and it's scary all at the same time, but I love it. And back to your kind of like the family piece of it. A lot of families, when they hire us, and just to be clear, estate sales can be living estates. So, like this year, I every single sale that we have done has either been clients moving, they're retiring, and they're moving out of state,
Mm-hmm.
or they're moving into assisted living. So I have this year, we have not had any estate sales as a result of an actual death.
Mm-hmm.
So just that stigma out there, it can be a living estate, but it's just kind of the word estate sale is just kind of how we describe what we do, right? But back to your point, it takes a huge burden off of the family because of the emotional attachment that they have to whether it's their parents' things or whether it's their own things. They tend when we interview, I say, okay, our goal, if you decide to hire us, is to take the weight off of your shoulders. The only thing you need to worry about is what do you want to keep? That's it. Everything else can stay in its place. You don't have to worry about organizing. You don't have to worry about deciding who should get what or any of that. It's literally just you're in a transition, whether it's whatever the circumstance is, you're in a transition mode. And that in itself can be heavy.
Mm-hmm.
So our goal is to take as much off of your plate as possible. Um, and so then the families, once they do hire us, and I'll send pictures of how we literally come in and we revamp the entire house. That's why someone will be like, "Oh, well, I'll set it up for you." And it's like, don't worry about it because I'm going to come in and I'm going to redo everything you've done. Um, and I'll send them pictures and they literally will just be like, I never even thought to move my furniture or put my furniture in that position in the room. You know what I mean? So it's
That is
kind
such a
of
real thing. I cannot even get it. I love, like, I want to reach out to people all the time and be like, I loved your before and after in like the business sense because it's not, again, we talked before the video, before we hit record, like all the things of like where our gifts and talents are, that when people come in and prep a home, like literally just moving the furniture, like it blew my mind. I was looking at this like before and after of setting up a master suite. And I giggled to think that that brilliance of that person who properly has done this, like they know, okay, this lighting and this move and this and take this and move it, I mean, it was like, it was almost like, what do you call those? Like, um, oh, I don't even know what they're called, but like when your kids are little and it's like what's not the same here and it's could be like a line or a flower here and not over here, but it was like that side by side. And
yeah, and yeah, your brain would have never even went into that realm.
nope, not even, nope, nope. I'm
Yeah,
I'm not created in that same. My creativity is somewhere else.
correct. Yeah. So so yeah, so it's just I don't know if that answered any questions, but it's interesting. And I love the feedback when that happens because not all estate sale companies will go in there and stage.
Hmm.
Some of them literally will just leave things where they are and price it, and that's that.
Right.
Um, to each his own. I love the feedback because I have an interior design degree.
Oh, you
Didn't
do. Oh my
didn't do
gosh.
anything with it, but it's
You
back
are.
there.
Well, hold on, hold on, hold on. You don't know this about me. I am the word police, and I'm going to cancel that because you are 100% using that right now.
Yes, I
I felt
am.
it. I felt it. Like when I walked, this house was beautiful on the golf course. I mean, the way you laid out everything and you had everything so, like you had things marked. It was so clear that I was like, oh, I felt it. I absolutely felt it.
Well, it comes into play. And same with like even during the sale, like honestly, I'll tell the girls, like if I'm training a new girl, I'll be like, okay, during the sale, move things around. The moment you move something to a different spot, 9 times out of 10, someone picks it up and purchases it. Like you have to, I'm not going to get woo woo, but energy is real, right? So,
Preach it,
um,
sister.
moving things around, even like coming into the home to do the sale prep, like a lot of homes have literally been sitting stagnant for a very long time. The moment you open the windows and get some fresh air in and start moving things around, it totally changes the energy. And that allows people to feel comfortable to come and purchase. So
I
I
love
mean,
that. I love that edit, and it's also an appreciation. I think her name is Marie Kondo, and she's a Japanese organizer. And
Yes.
I never quite thought about her organizing the way I was introduced to her and how she would literally sort through things and be like, pretend this is a sweater. It never fit, or, it might still have the tags, or, you know, it was itchy, but you literally take it to you and say, "Oh, thank you." You know what I mean? Like you had the money to buy it, you saw something in it, didn't serve its purpose, and then you put it specifically somewhere, like donation, sell it, whatever, but you in gratitude for it. And that's, yeah, so that
Yeah.
energy, I tell you, like literally, like, I was like, when I walked to my car, I was like, well, that was unexpected, like, you know what I mean? Like it was
Yeah,
so
great.
cool.
I mean, great.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Love that. Love it.
yeah. So
So
your intention is felt. I love it. I love it.
good. Yes.
So, so
Yeah.
it sounds like you have such a diverse background. You have that creativity with design. Then you went into law, which was absolutely system, structure,
Mm,
rules, and
hmm.
then you created this with if I'm not mistaken, it sounds like a combination of both because you're taking the very structured law, which is beautiful because you have that background, and then you transfer it into real estate. So you are aware of all the things that we could all get tripped up on in this living or passing of situations and the respect for the family. And I think you said this before that we hit record, which was, or maybe you said it just now, and the fact that you're literally, well, no, you did say it in the recording. I'll say it again, that you're taking care of more than the sale. Like there's so many pieces to a move, and like my friend who's it's definitely living. They're relocating to Florida and how thankful she was. It wasn't you. We had a moment to talk about that. That just to have the help from a friend who is organizing things, there is just such a joy because the process of disrupting your stuff, male
Oh,
or
yeah.
female, young or age wise, personality styles. It's multiple decisions, and people don't realize the decision fatigue that hits because she's
Correct.
trying to get to Florida and there's so many decisions she needs to make, and she lived there for so many years. So there's lots of memories and lots of things. So I love that you come in, you take care of that, and you can also take care of the sale, which is beautiful. So it's literally what I call white glove service through the entire process. And how special to know that you've done it with your friend. I know it's been double the work in the sense of making up income, yet you also have that partner in crime, that support system, the encourager, the yin and the yang of,
Yes.
sharing things
Yes.
back and forth is beautiful. And so many times I think from my perspective of mindset and leadership, it hurts my heart how many times people, not just women, um, I'm not sure which one is worse, men or women, to do things on their own.
Yeah.
Like I really don't know. Like sometimes I think as women we're worse. And then sometimes I'm like, I don't know, guys are the same way. And I got it, I'm good, I'm good. But then when you have that partner, that support system, someone who's not identical to you, oh gosh, didn't think of that. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, well, what about this? What about that? It's new perspective.
Well, and honestly, so we have since separated. So yes, only there's multiple things to it, but I'm in Michigan full time, she's in Florida full time. So it just then became like we were traveling back and forth trying to make it work.
Mm,
And then it just became that she wanted to kind of do her own thing, and we still wanted to do this. So the friendship is still intact. However, we are no
mm,
longer partners in business. And so that was something interesting too, was okay, now I'm used to the partner doing this, and now I'm taking on all of this. So it was learning what she had done, and also realizing what each other had done, right? Because we take things for granted in any relationship all the time. And so it was like, oh, wow, okay, now I have to do this. And I didn't realize that required that much energy or that much time or that skill set to do that. So that's been interesting in itself, is kind of like then going from a partnership to solo.
Oh.
So yeah, it's all good. But
Well,
it's
but it's also it's I don't wish that upon someone, but I also I mean like the first thing that came to my mind was exactly that, and I thought I remembered you saying something, or your card said Florida, which made
yep,
sense. I mean,
yeah.
like Michigan, Florida. I feel like I don't know if we're
Just
like
go
those are
down 75. We'll just hit
right.
them all.
All right. If that's the normal thing for every state, but I know Michigan is so connected to Florida, and yet I would see that. I would see that, you'd want to, possibly help the snowbirds,
For
because
sure,
many
for
people I
sure.
know do own a home in Florida too. So it's like, okay, you'd be able to have two clients that you could serve. Yet that shift, oh, I'm sure that must have been challenging. It's beautiful that you have a friendship and the gratitude, like you said. It's not until something is expired.
Hmm.
Somebody said this last week that they lost something. I'm like, girl, you didn't lose it. You released that, and that situation expired. You know what I mean?
Correct.
You're
Yeah.
moving into something new, different, and better. Now you're editing, and then you get to decide. I teach something, it's called the replacement ladder. And so
Okay.
we face this ladder because sometimes it's leaning up against the wrong place in life, right? And so,
Yeah.
like for her, her ladder was in Michigan and she needed to replace the ladder to lean against another location. So she
Okay.
was able to do that. But then the first level is what's going to be replaced. And so
Yeah.
you got to feel it, and she felt it
Yeah.
too. Like, oh, dang, she does this, and I did this, and da 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 da. So you got to decide, okay, are those things I need to ask for help? Do I eliminate that? You know what I mean? Like you had a new
Correct.
level of discernment and decide decisions, which that must have been extremely hard.
I mean, yes, yes. And then there's an emotional component to that too, right? So not only physically, like how do I keep this business running, but then there's an emotional. So yeah, it's been interesting, but I would say to any entrepreneur, whatever that looks like to you, that's, I mean, change is inevitable. And being okay with change is where you really, I mean, you have to find that comfort in the unknown, or you'll roadblock yourself and you won't be able to move forward.
Mhm.
So easier said than done, 100%. But just constantly reminding myself, okay, change is good. Change is moving. Change is movement.
Mhm.
So the unknown is okay.
Mhm. Good
So
for
yeah,
you.
so
That I hope somebody takes that and is able to see in the application entrepreneurship 100% and in life. You know what I mean?
yes,
Like as
yes.
women, when we get married and when we have kids and depending on career-wise, you were able to pivot through. I teach something called the shift. So there's little shifts. So many times it's a little tiny thing, but it becomes a big shift later. Yet it's the opportunity to be aware that that shift will happen.
Yeah.
And it's good.
Yes.
It, it
Yes.
it's for us, not to us. So that can be really, really good. Well, my goodness, I had a number of questions and now I'm like, oh, we kind of answered that. We kind of answered that. So
Yeah.
let's see. What would you say is the most important lesson you've learned on your journey to success in both life and business that you wish more people knew about?
I think we just touched on it. The being okay, being comfortable with the unknown, and being able to pivot. That's pivot. I mean, sometimes in not only in work, but like in life in a whole, in relationships. I can pivot much easier than, let's say, my husband, right? He's pretty
Structured.
solid. And I'll be
Yep.
like, okay, well, let's try it this way. And I have to remind myself that I've had to do that over the last 16 years being a business owner. I've had to move. I mean, just like, okay, if this didn't work, try it this way. If it didn't work that way, try it this way. If I'm not seeing the results I want, what do I need to do to get the results I want? So
That's
being,
brilliant. So
yeah,
good. So important. And there's a book that talks about men are like waffles and women are like spaghetti. We still are
I need
food
that book.
and we get to eat, yet we do it differently.
Yeah,
And that's also why we, are attracted to who we're attracted because it's, we're not two of a kind. We're not the same. We're different.
correct.
So
Correct.
that's beautiful.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's so helpful and such a good reminder. How do you maintain focus and clarity on your vision, especially when you are faced with challenges or that D word self-doubt?
So I would say, I guess there's two pieces to that. One is trusting that little voice, intuition, gut feeling, whatever it is, trust it. So oftentimes it's so easier just to self-doubt ourselves.
Mhm.
And that would be like a huge thing for me. And the other part of that is taking action. And I'm not talking big action every day, right? There are days where, yes, we have a lot of action. There are other days where we could start to see a stagnation pattern.
Mhm.
And I always say, okay, once a day, I'm going to do something, whether that's volunteering in the community, whether that's reaching out to someone just to say hello and have a conversation. Little actions keep us moving. They don't have to be these big things every day because that's not realistic.
Oh my
So that would
goodness.
be my, yeah.
Ah, I love it. Yeah, it's my jam. I love it. I love it. I concur.
Yeah.
What daily habits or practices have been key to your personal growth in achieving your goals?
Okay, so I'm going to be very honest. I am not a routine human being. Oftentimes, I don't know why this flashes in my brain, but oftentimes they'll interview like executives and big CEOs, and a lot of the common theme is, well, I wake up at 5 a.m. and I have a strict routine where I work out and I maybe meditate and every day you got to be early and get up early, and that's not me. It took me a long time to realize that I didn't need to fit in that bucket to be successful.
Mhm.
So I have learned to have grace with myself and who I am and how I operate. And so the biggest thing for me is, yes, I take self, what's the word I'm looking for? Self improvement. I take care of myself and listen to what my body needs. But my biggest thing is finding gratitude every day. May not be a huge thing, may not be a life epiphany, but it may just be as simple as thanking someone for allowing me to come into their home, which is the most intimate place that we could possibly be in,
Mhm.
and literally show me their entire lives. Like, I am grateful that that person trusted me to do that.
Mhm.
So it's just finding gratitude. I think it's so easy to get lost in negativity,
Mhm.
that just finding that center of I'm grateful and I give myself grace that I am the way I am.
I didn't know you before this yet. Yeah, that I agree. We forget to give ourselves grace. And I it's funny. I had a spoon at my desk for the longest time. So when I meet with clients on a Zoom, I will hold up a spoon and they're like, oh, it's a little tiny dose of like taking, grace for ourselves because sometimes we'll give it out, but then we don't give it back to ourselves because we're not in trust with ourselves. So,
For
yeah,
sure.
so
And
beautiful.
again, easier said than done. It's taken me a long time to really find that, but I think, yeah, that's how I do it.
Well, and I love that you point out the difference in recognizing what didn't work for you. I think that so many times that there's such a comparison, which is totally a thief.
Mhm.
Well, I have to do this. I have to fit in this box, what you said, bucket. I have to do what this person said. and yet you might be a night owl. You know what I mean? So that doesn't work for you or your schedule or, and giving that flexibility or well, we've talked a lot in the I run a women's collective, a worthy collective, and one of the mentors taught on routine versus rhythm. And it's
Okay.
exactly what you're saying is to say, I'm going to do these six things, but I'm not going to be like, sleep, drink, like
Right.
military
Right.
style. Sometimes people like that, but sometimes you need to be like, listen, but 10 o'clock, I'm going to drink some water
For
and we're going
sure.
to call it good. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Right.
that grace for the pace of what works best. So thank you for
Yeah.
sharing the vulnerability of that and recognizing it didn't have to look like somebody else. So good.
Yeah.
If you could give one piece of advice to people or especially women stepping into their power and striving for their best selves, what would it be outside of grace, outside of the trust and the action? Is there something else or is it a re
So, uh, kind of along the same lines, but I would say being confident in the authenticity of you, right? So often, I mean, I for sure, it's again, I always thought, well, I should be here or I should be doing this, or people think that I should be here, or people want me to be doing this. And I have come to realize that I am me. This is me. And when I am my true, authentic self, that is when the opportunities that are meant for me come with ease.
Mhm.
If you're constantly trying to fight that and be something that you think you should be or that others want you to be, you're gonna come into friction with that.
Misalignment?
Yeah, yeah. So things just may not go as smoothly. Again, it's taken me a long time to realize that. But that would be my thing, like be confident. And I'm not saying I was not confident or I'm not overly confident, but I'm confident in who I am as Monica Yost today, the person I am.
Hmm. Beautiful, beautiful. It's so great. And
Hmm.
that journey, I was watching. I think it was Alex Hermosi that said, so many people want the view, but they're not willing to make the climb.
Yeah, yeah,
Isn't that good? Like, like the
yeah,
journey of giving yourself grace and stopping for a minute, take a breath, look back and see how far you've come, you know? And then once you scale the mountain, and we don't necessarily stay there forever, because you were talking about change. Sometimes we have to climb down the mountain to go up to a new site, a new place, a new
right,
season. So,
right. Yeah. No, it's funny. We were just talking about this. I can't remember with who. And I was like, okay, so, but once you get that, then what? Like you think that that's going to be the end all be all and there's nothing more. I feel like we're constantly trying to expand, evolve, grow, right? So I don't know. I don't know where I
I
was
do.
going with
No,
that,
I
but
agree. I agree. My word for the year is expand. And part of the expansion has been those places that are so uncomfortable. I'm like, gosh, I thought I had faced something before. And I'm like, really? Really?
yeah,
It's
yeah.
and what's interesting is I've really been working on not saying that we can do hard things. That really bothers me. And I don't know if this is good, bad, or indifferent to be, clear. Because most of the time when we do something, it's not as big or hard as we thought. We made a
Correct.
story up that it was something bigger, and it's silly. It's silly because when you do it,
Yeah.
you're like,
Yeah. I mean, the same thing, like I'm not, both of my sisters are in the medical world and I'm like, oh no, I am not a medical person. Like I don't like the doctor. I can't, I say, can I have apple juice when I do blood work? Cause I will pass out.
me
And I'm
too.
just like, but at the end of the day, once I have like the blood drawn and I'm done with it, I'm like, oh, well, that wasn't terrible. Like, I totally worked myself up so much before that happening that the task itself was really not that bad. But I still do it.
Mhm. Yep, yep. You
So,
face it anyway. Yep.
yeah,
Good for
yep.
you. I'm the same. I when I do blind. I'll say to the person, tell me you are so good at this. And if they pause, I'm like, no, 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 let's re-clear. Can you, like, I need you to tell me that you're the best at this. And when they hesitate, I'm like, oh.
I
I'm like,
shouldn't have asked.
yeah. And I touched the last person and I touched her arm, like right here. And I said, just lie to me. Just tell me you are amazing at this. And she kind of looked at me and goes, I am really good at this. I'm like, thank you. And she's like, you really don't like this? And I was like, no.
Mm,
I am really working on there's certain things in life that no big deal. I know it's
yeah.
important. It
I've
gives
only
Maggie.
rescheduled this 3 times, but I'm finally here. So
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
let's do
So
it.
yeah, I don't know if this will help you or anybody else who's watching this. This is totally a squirrel derailed from Lady Liquidators. Here's a little note that I have found that really helps. After I say that, and I'm real with it, and like, and I'm also boosting them to say, no, listen, you lie to me, you're amazing. This is not your first day, right? And if it is their first day, which has not ever been, I will ask for their the person who trained them. I will. I literally will
Okay.
say, okay, it's your first day. Please go get me someone else because I really don't enjoy this. And I don't
Yeah.
enjoy it because somebody went through my vein one time when I was young in my 20s.
Mm.
And I said, it hurts, it hurts. And they just thought I was being like, kind of wimpy. And I didn't go to a wedding that night to my
Oh
friends.
my
Wasn't
gosh.
mine. It wasn't a close friend, but it was a extended friend. And because I had this giant baseball that he, I think they called
Oh,
it or
oh,
something. It was awful. It hurt so
oh.
bad. So I'm a little more sensitive, right?
Yeah,
The,
yeah.
the
You got
thing
some
that I've
trauma
learned,
there.
yeah, the thing that I've learned is once I know that they're amazing and I tell them to tell me that they're amazing, um, I will say, great. Please tell me some great stories. Tell me something about you. Tell me something so I can focus on something other than what you're doing.
For sure.
And then
Yeah.
it's so sweet because then they'll be like, well, what do you want to know? I was like, I don't know, something that nobody knows, like something, you know what I mean? And then we get this like, back and forth. I have learned the craziest things over the years of giving blood now that I'm like, I wouldn't have known that. I'm like, wow, you should write a
Yeah.
book. That's
Yeah.
crazy. And then I'm like,
That I
oh, I'm
love
done.
that.
Okay. Yep. Yep.
Love that.
So
Yeah.
total side note. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
No,
oh, we
that's
have that in
good.
common too. It's good because our blood work does give us so much information, yet
It does. I mean, it's an
it's just a process. Oh no, my internet is unstable. Feel like I'm having a commercial break. Aw, please, 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 internet work. Okay, so I think I've lost her, and I want to make sure that I share how absolutely incredible she is and that you have learned more about Monica in a way that can benefit you so that if you're moving, you have somebody that you need to support in the process of estate sale, living, moving, selling your house. There's a variety of different ways that she can serve you. And in the base of this YouTube, this video, we're going to make sure that you have all her contact information. You can reach out to her and find out if she is someone that can take care of what it is that you need, because clearly she's got the creativity, she's got all the organization, the details down. And again, the greatest gift was the energy that she delivered from walking up to that estate sale that was not like anything I had ever experienced before. So I hope you will look her up, find out what you need, pass on her information because she is an absolute gift.